Through majestic forests, alpine valleys and crystal-clear lakes, following the trails of wild animals in search of rare birds in places where no man had set a foot before. Precious, magnificent nature in all its diversity and grandeur in the documentary series Kazakhstan's Wildlife Sanctuaries. Many centuries ago, incredible stories and legends were born in the far south of Kazakhstan. Today, this is where the Sairam-Ugam National Park is stretched. It must have been the calm and astonishing beauty of these places that was evoking poetic moods in people of different generations. Do you know why this valley was named 40 girls, Sai? There is a legend. Long time ago, in a summer haze, 40 beautiful young maidens were frolicking by the river. One day, a lone noble Jibek came along to pick a bride. Every girl wanted him to like her, since he was handsome. Unfortunately, at the same time, local villages were attacked by enemies. Fleeing persecution, young maidens begged God to turn them into stones. And God had heard them. These are those maidens over here. It seems as if they are huddled together, forever stuck in this gorge, immobilized with their love to a young man. Bakhtiar Mahatov, the director of the Ugam division of Park and the excellent guide, was the one to share these and some other interesting legends with us. He came to local forestry at a very young age, right after serving in the army in the distant 1984, and stayed to work here for as long as he lives now. Bakhtiar Mahatov knows every path, every tree here. It is no surprise after learning that he had spent more than 30 years in these mountains. His colleagues call him Michurin behind his back. This is because it was due to his light hands that many of these formerly barren slopes turned green. We plant small seedlings on territories where there are no forests. The park is divided into 4 zones. The first one, a zone of ecological tourism. The second, informative. Third zone, of limited economic activity. Finally, the 4th zone is the hunting area. We are planting on all sides. This year, we planted trees on 25 hectares of land. Survival rate of trees was 82%. It is an excellent result. This is due to the weather and the work of our employees. The main tree species is juniper. It grows on the south side. Also, there are plenty of hawthorns, a lot of wolfberries. Since this is a reserve area, no one is cutting trees down. We only deal with the reproduction. Even during the winter, the gorge is green with the growing juniper, providing shelter to numerous inhabitants of this mountainous country. Muntakim and Tonerbergen, Sai Azar-Teke is a little closer. Makpal Gorge on the right side. In that gorge, in a place called Susingam, soaked with water, multiple springs run down, starting at the altitude of 1,800 meters above sea level. Among the juniper forests of Sairam-Ugam National Park, the nature was preserved in its pristine state. It is hard to believe that just 60 kilometers away from here, Shymkent, one of the largest cities of Kazakhstan, is located. Snowy silence is greeting our winter expedition. Each sound echoes through mountain gorges and shy mountain goats Tautike hide in inaccessible cliffs of Sari-Aigur. In order to film Tautike, one needs to get up very early in the morning. Shy mountain goats come down here. This area is their watering place. Can you hear the river? Sairam-Ugam National Park was created by government decree in the year 2006. It covers an area of nearly 150,000 hectares. 10 years ago, the area was adjoined with Ugam, Tolyby and Tulkubas forestries. Forests and fauna of the northeastern part of the Western Tien-Shan were protected here for decades. The territory of the park lays on 3 sites located on different mountain ranges. Each of them, Ugam, Boraldai and Irsu Dau Babin, has its own natural diversity. The largest is the Ugam division, which includes a canyon ridge Ugam and Karjan Tau, rivers Ugam, Sairam-Su, Kaskasu, Burguluk and Badam. Sairam Peak is the lord of local mountains and hangs above the snow-covered mountain range. It is almost 4,300 meters high. Neighboring peaks are preserving water reserves within layers of eternal snow. There, in the heart of the mountains, rivers originate from the glaciers. For many centuries, these rivers bring water to the valley. You see, this is the so-called buffer zone. This is where the red-listed trees grow, as well as endangered wild animals. This is why this area is closely monitored by our inspectors. The second division of the national park, Irsu Dau Babin, is situated in the spurs of the Talasala Tau in Dau Bab Mountains. A unique complex of relic and endemic plants is protected in the gorges of Irsu, Mashak, Dau Bab rivers. The third branch is located in the mountains of Boraldai Tau. It belongs to the system of Sirdaryakara Tau ridges. This is an area where unique plant systems and peculiar wildlife are under protection. I was born, grew up, and now live and work in these areas. Here we have a red-listed tree. It is called the iron tree. It grows only in the rock canyons along the rivers. Rare animal world representatives include brown bear, snow leopard. Among birds, there are snowcocks and golden eagles. We also have ibex, wild boars, wolves, Mansbeer mammoths. Slopes of the mountains are covered with dense vegetation. There are about 1,500 species here. This is a lot, almost a quarter of the diversity of Kazakhstan's flora. 67 species are included in the Red Book of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Thickets of wild fruit trees occupy the lower part of the slopes, famous sivers and Nedzvetsky apple trees, as well as walnuts, thickets of hawthorn, cherry plums and wild apricots. An old man Samal, who lived in this area many years ago, planted not just a single tree, but a whole grove instead. While trees were growing and blooming, one of the mountain's tops and a small village nearby was named after him to honor this deed. Tradition of mass planting in the park was inherited from practices of Soviet forestry.
We
had a Gaz-66 fire truck. It was used to carry water from the river Ugam. Every dweller of the village, the elderly and children, was watering these seedlings. Today, this growth protects the soil from desertification. Rare plant species such as Sogdian ash, Caucasian hackberry, pistachio, wild grapes, and even all-time favorite of Huth, wild currants, may be seen here. Silver apple, regal pear, wild plums, grapes, walnuts, and pistachios gave many cultivars to the world. More than 200 of native species are curative. The particular attention rangers paid towards fruit tree planting. Berries, small apples, pears and nuts are nutrition sources for animals. Even today, they are gladly digging them out from under the snow. Long winter months are still yet to come. We have a seed nursery on our territory. It is 2.5 hectares big. It provides forestry with seedlings, and we distribute them within reserve. We grow silver apple, wild apricot, walnuts, silver berries, broadleaf poplar and juniper.
Үйеңкі, шаған, жиде, қаратал, терек, жалпақ жапырақты терек.
Higher up on the slopes, there are relic juniper forests covering an area of over 27,000 hectares. Archa is the local name for juniper. This tree is a perennial plant. In the valleys of Sairam-Su and Sairam-Ugam rivers, there are areas of the juniper forest with such pure healthy air filled with special phytoncides. Many of these trees are just under the age of 500 years. According to the legends, one might see even 1,000-year-old trees growing in hidden tracts. Over the forest belt comes a subalpine zone with bushes of creeping Turkestan juniper sprawled as dark spots on mountain slopes. They add a special charm to the area. Above that, there are alpine grasslands. At the moment, everything is covered with snow. The staff of Ugam Forestry consists of 1 senior forester, 8 inspectors, 1 assistant to senior forester. 10 people in total. Each inspector has a designated plot. They have a form to fill after each check, according to which they perform their work. Previously, they were called foresters. Now, since 2001, they are called state inspectors. The scientific study of the nature of the Western Tien-Shan began in the mid-19th century by Russian scientists. The first expedition of zoologist and traveler Nikolai Severtsov took place in 1857. His travels have left a vast amount of scientific data in the field of geology and zoology. One of the results of research was a scientific description of subspecies of argali, including those inhabiting the park, Karatau argali, and visiting these areas in winter, Tien-Shan argali. At the moment, the mountains are covered with snow, and to see argali, not mentioning to record on tape, is close to impossible. But the protection takes place throughout the year. How are you? How's everything? Tourist poachers, is everything all right? How is the weather? Everything is fine. The study of the animal world of the national park continues to these days. It is home to 60 species of mammals. Sometimes southerners, Indian crested porcupines, and northerners, badgers, coexist in a shared space. There are colonies of 2 types of mammoths in the highlands, long-tailed and man's-bears. Carnivorous include wolves, jackals and foxes. Occasionally, one may stumble upon a stone marten. Most spread-hoofed representative in these areas is Siberian mountain goat. Raw deer and wild boars walk in the mountains. Special attention is paid to the protection of the national park's snow leopard, Turkestan lynx, Tien-Shan brown bear, Karatau argali, and endemic of these mountains, man's-bear's mammoth. The history of its description is rather interesting. In 1920, the Department of Zoology of the Central Asian University in Tashkent was led by Professor Danil Kashkarev, the founder of the Russian School of Animal Ecology. Having a scientific description of a new type of mammoth, Kashkarev named it in honor of his teacher, academician Mikhail Menzbeer. The world of feathery creatures of the national park is very diverse. Today, more than 250 species of birds were spotted here. This list is going to be updated with further research. Representatives of southern species nest here, as well as birds that are typical for northern latitudes. Birds are more amusing in a way because, unlike other animals, they are more visible and accessible for observation. Silhouettes of big prey birds such as golden eagles, Himalayan griffon vultures and bearded vultures hovering in the updrafts of air can be seen at any time. They nest in inaccessible cliffs. Deeper, wagtail and legendary blue birds live by the river. Those who believe that seeing a blue bird brings happiness should definitely visit these places: gorgeous Sairam-Su, Sairam-Ugam and Kazakhstan. They are not that hard to notice. Despite the roar of the river flows, the song of a bluebird flies over the territory. Flocks of stone partridges run down the scree into protective rock caves. Above them all, one can hear the cries of the highland inhabitant, a Himalayan snowcock. To see a snowcock is a big luck. In order to see a legendary mount in Turkey, one must climb up to the height where snow never melts. In the course of our winter expedition, we got acquainted with the nature and wildlife of the Western Tien-Shan, met wonderful people who keep this precious gift for future generations.